love to introduce Kim, that many of you met during our introduction just a little bit ago, to kick off the Aaniiih Nakoda session.
Good morning, everybody. Ambawashte Imagiabi Kim Barrows. My name is Kim Barrows. I'm the registrar at Aaniiih Nakoda College. We're pretty excited to be here. And we have some of our faculty members from the nursing program, our human services program, our dean of students, and our student support services director, Ramona Horn. And we're happy to have our president, Sean Chandler, also able here to join us this morning to start us off. We're excited to see all of you. There's a lot of people on here. Just hope that you guys learn a little bit about our college. We have awesome college here. So many good things, so many good things. I wish that we could have more of our faculty members on to talk about some of the research that we do here. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to our president and let him say some good words about our college. But thank you all for being here and joining us this morning.
Good hand, Kim. Well, hey, Nanisa Nitha walk, Nanana on Nan, and that day in Aaniiih Nakoda College. It's kind of crazy seeing all the faces because usually everybody has their cameras turned off. So it's kind of, I need a bigger screen now. So, but I'm Sean Chandler. I'm the president of Aaniiih Nakoda College, and I'm from the White Clay people. And I've been here at Aaniiih Nakoda College since about 2002. And I started off as the director of American Indian Studies. And I was in that position. I created the program and taught most of the courses. And for about, what is it, like 15, 16 years or so. And then became interim academic dean for a long time, interim. And then just in this past, I think it was August 31st, I became the president here. And so I'm very thankful I'm in that position, in this position now to help others and to help grow this college. And I know I think I was on the list to share some kind of a cultural thing, prayer song, but I know that those things have been taken care of, and I was all ready to bust out a song, but I guess I can't. I'm just joking. No, I wouldn't have done that. But that's another thing we miss in this virtual format, because protocol, you're supposed to be muted. And so I'm used to teaching or whatever in a crowd where live, and I know if my jokes are falling flat or if they're doing good. But in the Zoom world, we don't have that. And I think we should have a button or something with that fake laughter so I can get by. So, but anyway, what I wanted to share about our college in terms of culture is that, as you know, as you'll see in all of these, I see a smile, laughing face. Well, I guess that takes the place of that. Thanks, other Sean Coleman. All our colleges are unique in that they serve not only our communities, but the tribal life ways. And here at our place, of course, as you know, we serve our foundation, our Aaniiih and Nakoda life way, and that in terms of language, culture, history. So when you look at, if you were to visit here, and I know some of you have, hopefully you see our identity is located on our buildings with our language, or embedded in our floors with our designs and everything. So not only do we want our students, our faculty and staff, administration to be embedded in Aaniiih Nakoda Lifeways, but so too our physical campus. And so getting to our programs, you'll see, I think there's a few of our instructors that are going to talk about some of our programs. And we have about 12 programs, 3 one-year certificates, 1 professional certification, and we have 1 brand new in our first 4-year degree program in Aaniiih Nakoda ecology. We're really excited about that because I think that's much needed. And in terms of, in terms of our culture, as I said, everything's founded in our life ways. A couple of the unique things we have here that are an example of that. We're one of the, I think we were one of the, for several years, we were the only tribal college to house a grade school, but focused on our white clay or Aaniiih language. And there might be maybe 1 or 2 others now, but I don't think there's, I think there's 1 in Montana, and I think 1 in South Dakota now. So besides us, and we started that about 2003, 2003, and it started pretty humbly as an after-school program, and then we grew it to a full-day school, and we've been going since then, and hopefully we continue on. It's one of our main focus points of what we need to do to survive and to be complete human beings. And it builds our self-esteem, our goals, and helps us, again, be prosperous and generous, as my dad says. And at the college level, one of the main things we've been doing for several years, at least since the 90s, and that's fighting for the restoration, or to educate others about the situation in our sacred little Rocky Mountains. And as you know, I don't know if some of you know, but or if most of you know, but that was one of the places, one of the largest, probably the largest in North America, cyanide heap leach mines. And and if you know a little bit of the background history of that, back in the 1890s, the U.S. government wanted, once they formed and rounded us up on basically what our borders are now of our reservation, there was one little piece of land they wanted in the 1890s, and it's same, on a lot of reservations. They found gold illegally. They were there trespassing on our reservation, and they found gold. And so the U.S. government wanted that piece. And apparently the United States was going through another economic crisis, so they needed that gold. And it went through some negotiations, and our leadership, ultimately, I don't think they wanted to. There was a lot of the voters, the eligible voters, who were at this big negotiation. They didn't want it. They didn't feel the need to give up more land, but the U.S. government, gave us ingrained this fear in helping us get to the point where we would vote for it. So, like we would starve, in other words, if we didn't give up this land or give up that piece of land. But fast forward, that this cyanide heap leach mine started about late 70s, 80s. And if some of you have driven up here, you could see a whole chunk of mountain gone. And that's where this is at. And so the college, under the direction of Dr. Liz McLean, really made some headway on this. We started researching the water and the water quality, and it's helped in our court cases, and we're still fighting for that now, and still trying to restore it physically, and for better water quality for our people, and spiritually as well, because we believe that there's gifts on every butte, every sacred butte that we have. And if you think about it, what if there was only certain gifts on that butte that's gone now? And so that really gives us a hit on our cultural ways, our spiritual ways, where we can't help someone, whoever suffers from some illness, that particular place could help out. So we're still fighting for that, and the college, again, I think we're taking a big lead in that, as well as our language, as I mentioned previously. But I think I'm at 10:11. I think I was supposed to be done at 10:10, but I'm glad to see everybody, and I'll let the next speaker take off. So thank you.
Thank you, Sean. I'm so glad that you talked about some of that stuff, because it's really important to our people, all of those things, and working at a tribal college and in this community, we get to see firsthand some of the things our students are a part of, and some of the research, and it's just really cool. So there's so many people on here. I've been searching through, looking for my people. Dr. Carrie Patrick Wurtz, are you on here? I don't see you. And if not, we'll just jump to somebody else.
I just got on.
Okay.
Sorry, it made me register again for some reason, but.
And I know you're very punctual. And I didn't expect to have this many people on here, so I've just been kind of going through the screen going, where is he?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce, I'll let him introduce himself. This is our Human Services Director, Dr. Carrie Patrick Wurtz.
Well, hey, Aaniiih, Carrie Patrick Wurtz. So hello, my name is Carrie Patrick Wurtz. I am the Human Services Instructor. That's like the umbrella term, basically, but I do teach 2 degree programs and a certificate program. So one program is just the general human services program, and we have a 2+2 agreement with the University of Montana. And so our students who graduate with our 2-year human services degree, then they can do their 3rd and 4th year with U of M for a bachelor's in social work. And they get to stay here locally and get support through the college, and then just make periodic visits out to the campus there. But yeah, they can basically do it here at home, and then also do their internships for that program at home too. So that's just been around a few years. So that's pretty exciting on my end. And then I also teach the chemical dependency counseling degree program, which is a licensure program. So students get their degree, and then they can apply for a candidate license, and then they do 1,000 hours of supervised counseling experience, and then they take a licensure exam, and then they can be a licensed addiction counselor, a LAC. And so that's been going on, I think, since 2019 was when that program started under me. So those are my programs themselves. Other things I've done with students is I have worked on research projects with students. So one of those projects was funded through the NIH NARCH program. And we looked at culturally related anxiety. And so it was an interview style study. And I had, I think, 4 different students, not all at the same time, but I think it was 4 at a given time that worked with me on that project. And we went to a conference in Kansas to present that work. We went to Dallas, Texas to present that work. And in Dallas, I kind of presented on my own, like the entire study, because that was kind of like a big presentation. But I had 2 students go with me in that one, and they kind of took a piece of the research and did their own kind of separate presentation. And I know that was nerve wracking for them, but I was proud of them, for doing that. I also did a community grant through the USDA. And so we formed a community coalition, and it was kind of focusing on issues related to drug use. But the coalition decided to kind of take a preventative direction and focus on trying to provide more youth activities and trying to kind of connect coalition members as kind of like potential mentors for youth in the community as well, to kind of hopefully, prevent youth from going into using substances and so forth. And I had 3 students travel with me to Denver, Colorado, and this time they did all of the presentation. It was my first time to just sit back and just watch, and I didn't have to speak much at all. So I was really proud of them for that. They did the whole poster themselves, and just took turns jumping in there and presenting to all the people who came by. And so that was really exciting. And then I may even have another project coming up soon that we're still waiting to see if it goes through or not. So there's always opportunities like this, things where students can get like an introduction into research. I mean, that's really going to serve them well if they ever want to go on to get a bachelor's or a master's or apply for scholarships. And I didn't have exposure to research like this when I was an undergrad. So I think it's really amazing that our students do, and that they can travel out to these conferences and, share what they're doing, and then also learn what other tribal colleges, but also other institutions are doing as well. And then lastly, I do offer counseling, free counseling to our students. I do that mostly in the evenings and on Fridays. And so it doesn't matter if they're full-time or part-time, as long as they're students here at ANC, then they can receive those services. And so they don't have to go out elsewhere. And it can be anything from a mental health related issue to test anxiety, so it can be a wide range, sometimes academic related or career related, and then sometimes more on the mental health end. So yeah, I think that's about all I can say about me.
Thank you, Carrie. ANC, we're really lucky to have him. He does so much with our students. Our students learn so much from him. So I just feel like we're really lucky to have such an awesome instructor. So with that, Ramona. Oh, I see Ramona. Okay, good. Ramona, you're on mute. This is our Student Support Services Director, Ramona Horn. She's going to share some information about our new Student Support Services program that Aaniiih Nakoda College just recently, luckily, so happily received.
So I'm going to try and share my screen. Can you tell me if...
Yep, we can see it. I can see it.
Okay.
I hope everybody else can see it.
Do you see the full screen or the presenter notes?
Full screen.
Okay, great. So the Student Support Services Program, it has recently been funded by the Department of Education. And as a new person just starting in January, I'd like to let you know how welcoming the environment was. And I really appreciate that. And so I feel that when our students come here, they really feel welcome. And we have new staff. We have Braden Fitzpatrick, he's a student success navigator. Kathy Buchanan, she's the advisor. Myself, and then Caleb Grant, who is the administrative assistant. And they're all very excited, very enthusiastic. And right now the students are working in attending classes remotely, most of them. And so we're really anxious to get to meet the students. We're trying to do activities to bring the students to us. And our objectives are to increase college retention here at the college, increase graduation rates, increase transfer rates from a 2-year to 4-year. And as Dr. Chandler said, we have a 4-year program. So we really want to help those students that are in the 4-year program. But overall, the goal is to make sure that our students have positive experience, enjoy going to college. If there's any need that they may have, they could come to our department and we're more than willing to help them. Some of the requirements of this program is that they have a need for academic support, low income, first generation, and may have a disability. So our services that we provide are tutoring. We help them with their course selection, maybe even deciding on a course program. We help them with scholarships, doing scholarship searches, making sure that the scholarships are applicable to what they are going to college for. Make sure they even qualify before they apply. We want the students to understand financial literacy, financial aid process, the importance of a credit score. Then we also assist them with transferring to a 4-year college. And we are fortunate to have Dr. Carrie Wurtz on campus. We are able to provide individual counseling. We provide a lot of activities with the range of career options available to them. We provide exposure to cultural events, academic programs not usually available to disadvantaged students. And right there, what you see is our first college campus tour. We made a visit to MSU Northern. And while we are there at the other colleges, it's very important to that they get to meet with financial aid offices, the admissions, and other resources that may be available. For instance, tutoring. There's another student support services program at Northern, so we made sure they know where that office is. And we took the campus tour. That was pretty interesting to all the students. So our available resources to the students, we have study labs, we have student tutors in most every subject here on campus. Printing, we're in a day of technology. Everybody has a tablet or a cell phone or a laptop, but not everybody has a printer. So if somebody needs something printed, they could always come to our office. Also scanning, we help them scan, upload their documents. They need copies of anything, and then we also provide them with school supplies. Other things we do, I don't know if you're familiar with Montana Career Information Systems, MCIS, but this is a very good tool for high school students and college students. And what we do is help them explore the careers. They There's also different types of learning style inventories that will help them. We help them with resumes, cover letters, and these are useful for scholarships and job applications. So once we do the resume, cover letter, scholarships, they are creating a portfolio that we keep here in the office. And so anytime they want to do a scholarship search or apply for a job, they're not starting all over from square one. They will have those documents here and they could just revise them and send them. And so by the time they graduate, they should have a good solid portfolio that they could use beyond A&C, hopefully throughout their career. And with all of these things, we're having a study night. So before finals, 3 weeks leading up to finals, we'll have a study night where we have our tutors, we'll invite the students in, and we can help them with whatever homework assignment or studying for finals. During the summertime, we're going to have a college success academy. So that's for students that have been out of the academic system or students that just graduated high school and they may be apprehensive about attending college. We'll go over writing skills, we'll have reading skills, computer skills, since everything is technology, and our learning platform Moodle usage. So this will be something that is held in the summer for all students who want to prepare for the upcoming academic year. And throughout the college semesters, we're going to have hot topics. And these are just 1 hour sessions. We're going to have different times throughout the academic year. And so 1 week we might have something on test taking strategies. They'll come in for a 1 hour workshop. We'll have fun activities and they'll also learn, probably have a snack. Also, we'll do things on budgeting, improve credit score. And as we get to work with the students, it'll be student driven. They'll let us know what they need. So that is something that we are looking forward to in the future. But overall, the Student Support Services program is to help the students in their college pathways so that they are picking their path. They understand all aspects of the college experience. They understand a general ed course. They understand the course requirement for their program. So in the future, they'll know what questions to ask, whether it's about financial aid, so they could be their own advocate. Once they leave here, they'll feel like this has been a very enjoyable experience. They're empowered so they could transfer on to a 4-year institution. And that is the whole focus of our program, is just getting to know the students and have them be successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mona. We're so thankful that we have student support services here for our students. We are already a very student-focused institution, as I think all tribal colleges are and other colleges as well, but this just helps us so much so that we can make sure our students are getting everything that they need, especially going on, transferring on, and all that. Oh, okay, I saw that we had a question in the chat and asked us if our campus was open for the study night. And we are still closed right now. We are doing everything via Zoom. And it's amazing how many meetings that we've had with our students managed to even Clarina, our Dean of Students, even managed to get a student senate going via Zoom. She has meetings with them every week. So, but we are slowly opening. So we're able to have some students on campus by appointment, and student support services has been cooperating with our tribe in order to be able to provide services in person safely. So we're trying to get there. We've got very low cases here on our reservation, but I noticed over in Havre last night that they had 4 new cases over there. So even though that's not very many, it's still kind of, everybody's been kind of zero for a little while, but it still gets kind of scary again, because just shows us we still have to be careful. So I'm so relieved to see that Chelsea Morales and Bridget Hemmer have joined us. I'm going to go ahead and call on Chelsea. She is our allied health instructor, and she's going to talk a little bit about her program and maybe some of the research that goes on with that. So Chelsea, are you somewhere? I can't see it, but I saw you earlier.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Hi, Chelsea.
Hey, I got my PowerPoint, so
Oh, cool.
yeah.
So did you need to share? Amy, can you make sure she can do a share screen? I didn't know she had a PowerPoint. Awesome.
I think I was able to.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, so let me get it going. Yeah, so hello everyone, my name is Chelsea Morales. I'm the Allied Health Instructor here at Nakoda College. And I also work on an educational grant, National Science Foundation grant called Creating a Continuum of Integrative STEM Learning Experience. And so this grant is essentially a teacup grant, and we call it the iced tea grant around here. And what that means is this instructional capacity excellence in teacup institutions. So really what this grant is really helping us to recruit and get students in the high school to really get excited about science, technology, engineering and math. So it addresses things like recruitment of students, retaining them, because we really do work with our cohorts, we call them. So the ones that come to this summer program, we kind of try to monitor them and keep them together and work with them and follow them up until graduation. So hopefully working to retain them. It offers classes for math and writing preparation. We offer many research opportunities for the students to participate in internships. And then it has this really neat component, an international component, where students have an opportunity to go to Namibia, which is on the Western Africa coast. So I think that's a pretty neat thing. So our goal number 1 is really intensive outreach and recruitment. So the schools that we go to are Harlem High School, Dotson High School, and Hayes Lodgepole. But I've also reached out lately, more recently this year and last year, to Malta and Chinook as well. So right now, recruitment has largely been Zoom, but I've also have been allowed by some schools to meet in person with the students, which I always like to do. And we can accept up to 14 students due to COVID. That's what we have room for. We can safely be 6 feet apart. And so I kind of included in here also our recruitment flyer. So this is put out. So our summer program that I'm going to talk largely about is what we call our Itanan Tataga Scholars Summer Seminar. So Itanan and Tataga are Aaniiih and Nakoda words for buffalo. And that's really what this workshop is. It's a 2-week workshop where we really center the research around the buffalo herds on the Fort Belknap Indian Reservation. So we have 2 of them, and that's where we take our students. So the requirements have largely been high school seniors and juniors, or what we also call recent grads as well. But if we have room, I do open it up to all high school students, so freshmen and sophomore. At least we can get them interested, and hopefully by the time they graduate, they're aware of Aaniiih Nakoda College and want to come here. And so we have support for them. They get a stipend. So at the end of the workshop, as they complete successful completion of the workshop, they get a $500 stipend. And then we provide snacks for them, and also like backpacks and things that they'll need for throughout the 2 weeks. So that is what we call our summer seminar. Whoops, I went ahead. it's a 2-week course focusing on our buffalo herds, trying to connect land, culture, and our community together in a very hands-on field-based type of research. So the students are they also get college credit. So they get this 3 college credits. They get paid to do it. But it's also really neat because they're not just in a classroom being lectured to. We'll usually talk with them for a little bit just to know what to expect, maybe give them a little background on the project that they're going to do within the next couple days, but then we're largely out in the field. So what's really neat is we have our A&C instructors all participate. So we have Dennis Johnson, who's from the Computer Information System. He's the advisor for that and the instructor. And then we have Dan Kinsey coming in with environmental science. I teach an allied health component. And then we will have our American Indian Studies. It was round of work, but we'll have someone new who will come in and give like the background and the history. So the American Indian Studies component, we kind of start the week off with that, introducing the students to our historical contemporary relationship between the buffalo and the tribes here on Fort Belknap Indian Reservation. Kind of talk about how do they get onto the Fort Belknap Indian Reservation, some origin stories, how did we use the resources from the buffalo, things like that. And then the current management of them and some of the policy issues. So they kind of get introduced to that history and background of our buffalo herds. And that's for kind of the first couple days. And the next couple days, they get to play with drones. So the computer component is kind of neat. We have this drone that has like a few hour battery life, can fly a mile away from the controller. And so they can take these beautiful images that you see here, these drone images. And they get taught how to use the drones. And then once we go, anytime we go out to the field, the students actually get to use the drones and take pictures and take videos. And they're pretty much independent at this point. Because I think for 2 days, Dennis comes in and then me and Dan will take over and he just leaves the drone with us. And whoever wants to then work the drone, they just get to, I don't really know how to use them. So I'm just like, if you were taught, you go ahead and use them. And they're always really, really good. So fingers crossed, you know, they haven't been damaged or anything and they really enjoy it. So what we tie that with is mapping. So we're mapping the movement of buffalo. This is one technology that could do that. Their behaviors, where do they like to go to? So we kind of tie that this technology can be used to kind of track our buffalo and see where they're going and looking at their preferred grazing areas. The environmental science component, Dan will come in for a couple of days and he takes them out there and they're really looking and assessing the types of plant communities out there that they're grazing on. Is there enough grass and plant life out there that can sustain the buffalo? So they're learning about how do we calculate that? They take that all back and they learn how to calculate it with the grass that they have. They bring it back into the lab and do, so they get to do field work, but they also bring it back and calculate it. So it's kind of neat. So we also do lab work with them as well. So Dan will come in and do that. And then the last part is the gut health. So we're looking at the health of our buffalo herds because one thing, unlike typical cattle, they don't get dewormed. So we're looking at other ways we can look at their health. And one way is we actually have to look at their feces. We can look at parasite loads by looking at the feces. So we have to go gather fresh manure. And I always tell them fecal matters. And at first they're kind of like, I don't know, but it's kind of crazy. Look at them in this main picture. They're holding their bags of feces and they get excited because I tell them it has to be fresh. And so we talk about what does it mean that a feces is fresh? How do we detect that? And then they're kind of yelling across the field, oh, I found some, get over here. And so, and then we get all that, we bag it up, and then we bring it into the lab and we have to process it a little bit. And we view and identify parasites under a microscope. And then we bring all of our data together in Excel sheets. And then each day they're kind of working on a poster. So their final project or their final thing that they have to do is create a poster and they present in groups and they just talk about what they did over the past couple weeks. And then they get their check. So that's the seminar. And then from there, we kind of track them. So hopefully the ones who are recent grads will then come to A&C. And if they do, we have a first year seminar course that we try to advise them into. And then that's kind of preparing them. It's a math and writing preparation course. And then that following summer, they kind of get what we call first dibs to go on the Africa trip. So they kind of are priority. And then whoever doesn't want to go, that's fine. Then we open it up to the rest of A&C students. And then there's a lot of short courses throughout that we kind of try to advise them in. So we kind of create, and it's not just them, it's just, that's part of it, but we also open it to all of the other A&C students as well. So even some students who weren't in the Buffalo summer seminar have been in the short courses, have been in the first year course, have gone to Namibia. So we try to track them that way. And a lot of them have successfully at least gone through here and have graduated from A&C. So yeah, that is my project that I work on, and I'm kind of excited to this coming summer. So yeah, if you have any questions, now's the time.
Thank you, Chelsea. That was so awesome.
Thanks.
I'm really glad that you put all that together. Just another one of the awesome things that we have here at ANC. I wanted to introduce Bridget, because I know we're kind of running out of time, and she's going to talk about our nursing program. Bridget, are you there?
I am. Hi.
Hey.
Chelsea's a tough act to follow. Could I share my screen? I have some pictures I can show if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is just a picture of our first graduating class of students. We have our program just accepted its 4th cohort this year, and we've had 3 graduating classes for a total of 13 students who've graduated so far. At least 11 are actively in the workforce along the High Line here in Montana, working as nurses in the field. And that's the whole goal of the Grow Our Own nursing program at Aaniiih Nakoda College. The philosophy of the program is based on the medicine wheel. And so our curriculum and our assignments and everything kind of follows along that philosophy, or that historical context of that. Sorry, I've got things popping up there. So it's been kind of an interesting year with COVID-19, because we've really had to step up and learn to do things a little bit differently, because students couldn't quite get into clinical. So we've actually increased our use of simulation. In our simulation lab, we do have a simulator. She breathes and talks and has a heart rate and has abnormal heart rhythms and heart sounds, and you can do all kinds of things with her or him. We can make it a girl or a boy, and so that provides students with some opportunity to put their clinical skills that they're learning to use in a simulated setting. So we have a situation that we set up for them, and they go in and they take care of that patient, and sometimes it goes really well. And when it doesn't, which is often the case when people are new, then that's a good opportunity for learning. So we've definitely stepped in and done that, but now students are out doing some clinical. They've been able to participate in vaccine clinics this year. They've probably given over 700 vaccines and put in probably over 150 hours just this winter in helping with the COVID-19 situation. Here's an example of those are one of our lower grade mannequins, but they're doing some wound care. Our instructor, Alicia Work, is there on the right. And this is kind of fun too, because one of our former students is now an instructor. She helps us here and there with students, and we're so excited to have her be a part of that. And there's another example of one of our instructors, one of our graduates who have since come out of the program. We have great collaboration with other entities within the area. This is an example of students working with the ambulance services and learning how to kind of help a patient get prepared for transportation. And there's an example of one of our students at a vaccine clinic in Blaine County this semester. So I'm going to just show you our curriculum real quick here. And
Bridget, while you're doing that, there's a question What
Yeah.
licensure are they getting?
They're getting an associate degree of science in nursing. Thank you for asking. So with that degree, they go into the workforce with a registered nurse licensure once they pass the Nclex. Those are the boards. And so in order to do that, these are the prerequisite classes that they're required to take. And you can see that they're all fairly science-based. That's in Chelsea's area with allied health. They can get an allied health certificate, or they can get an allied health degree. So embedded within the curriculum too is the Aaniiih or Nakoda language, as well as American Indian studies. So when they say or, it doesn't mean that they get to choose. They actually take 3 credits of a language, 3 credits of American Indian studies, and 3 credits of sociology, but they're embedded within the curriculum. And then once they get accepted into the nursing program, they take these courses. It takes 4 semesters. So currently we have a cohort that's right here in the spring semester. Okay, and then next year they will take 2 more semesters and graduate in the spring. They usually take their boards within a month or 2 of graduation, and then they're fully employable as nurses. They've got jobs out there. Often they may choose to go on and get a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. That's usually just another 1 to 2 years, depending on how many credits they want to take. And those are generally online courses that they can do that through in various programs in Montana.
And Bridget, what's our pass rate for the Nclex?
Our pass rate is, it's variable every year, right? So currently we've had, let's see, I would say, well, let me just say, second time pass rate is upwards of, first time pass rate, I can't even give you percentages, but I would say that with right now, 12 out of our 13 graduates have passed the Nclex exam since the program first started. A few of those did have to do a second attempt, which is okay. The Board of Nursing is kind of looking at, first time versus second time. If they don't pass the first time, it takes 45 days. They have to wait 45 days and retake. There's a lot of reasons students don't pass the first time. Test anxiety is a huge one. And so we try to really work hard with that. We have a couple programs in place that we're using right now to help students, particularly with that standardized test preparation. But it's a huge challenge for all students in all nursing programs. Sometimes once they get past that first test, they're like, oh, it didn't go well, and now I know what to do. Ideally, we like to get them through the first time. We're judged on the first time pass rate, which is unfortunate. Everyone in the nation is. And, but, the goal is to get them out there, get them working, and get them licensed. So it's a huge success to have 12 of our graduates out there in the field working with people across the Highline Native American people in all areas. And we have students in corrections, med-surg, ICU, IHS, tribal health. I can't remember where they're all at. I do know where I'm in contact with most of them. We're funded with the Cna Seeds grant. That's an Administration for Native American Social and Economic Development grant. And that's been a very positive support for us to get to this point. And then we also have a USDA National Institute for Food and Agriculture grant that we're working on. And one of the parts of that project, that's a multi-pronged project throughout the college, is creating a healing garden that can kind of work in conjunction with the community garden, but kind of a place for people to go that's not the stark, clean, sterile environment of the healthcare system that it is, but a place for people to learn about healing foods, healing herbs, healing environment and space. Kind of a different space of healing, looks kind of more at the holistic aspect of people's needs. So
That is so awesome, Bridget.
We also have a Cna program. We've put a lot of CNAs through. Currently, we have a spring cohort group of probably 24. A lot of those are what we've done is we've created online modules. So the state requires 75 hours of course time for that CNA certification. CNA is kind of a great way. It's a certified nurse's aide for people to kind of get their feet wet in the healthcare system. It is backbreaking work, but it's well-paying work for people that have like a limited amount of time to get training and education, but want to work in the field and kind of are thinking about a healthcare profession. So they come in, they do those online modules. It takes them about 50 hours. And then we bring them into the simulation lab and put them through all the skills that are required, and we test them. In a non-COVID year, we try to put them into a long-term care center so they can spend a day with a CNA and see how real people work and how we take care of real people with real equipment. And unfortunately, we just haven't been able to do that for the past year, but they can still come in and get certified and take their exam. So we worked through that. It's worked really well to have it this way. It's a challenge for some students, for sure. We try to address those needs if we can. Are there any questions?
I don't think so, Bridget. I appreciate it so much. We're pretty much out of time. And, you know, I'm so proud of our college. We had so much great information, and we had a lot of awesome comments in the comment section. So yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Aaniiih, Nakoda. Your entire team makes it really challenging for the next colleges that follow. But thank you very much for taking the lead on this event. For all of you